Shalom and Hak Shemeach. This is the last night of Passover here for us in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I'm so blessed and honored to have Senator Jason Rapert. He is here, and he's got some exciting news, so I'm going to get right to it. I want him to be able to share what the state of Arkansas is doing. You know, there was a prophetic word many years ago, so goes Arkansas, so goes the nation. And Senator, what you're doing for Israel, as a Jewish person, all I can do is say thank you so much and bless you. But would you share with our Facebook followers what just happened? It's phenomenal.
Well, thank you, Rabbi Landry, and I'm honored to be here with you. And just to tell you briefly about what happened in the state of Arkansas, obviously over the last several years, Arkansas has taken steps. I sponsored a resolution maybe 3 years ago just to honor Israel and to take a stand, especially this was when the rockets were actively being fired in from the Gaza Strip into Israel. But this year, we actually took some very positive steps for the state, not just from a symbolic perspective, but really integrating within our code and statutes a true relationship with the nation of Israel. And so what we were able to do, and any of you out there that have friends that are in your legislatures, invite you to send this to them, because we took really 3 major steps for the state of Arkansas with Israel. Number one, we passed the anti-BDS legislation, which is very important. And as you know, there's an action happening all over the country where people are trying to come against Israel by forcing the de-investment of the retirement plans, the pension funds, out of anything that's invested in the nation of Israel, which is truly a mortal blow to a nation the size of Israel.
Yeah, and share with them what BDS stands for.
Well, I'm trying to think. It talks about divestment and sanctions.
Yeah, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. And it is devastating. And I want to say this too, is that the last time I was in Israel and talking with Prime Minister Netanyahu, this was the main thing. When he reformed his government and the re-election that he had, this was one of the main things that was on his heart. And of course, we have a ministry called Bridge to Zion, which is a crowdfunding page to allow people to fund their ministries. And you can see that at bridgetozion.com. And that's the reason we had gone there to meet with the Knesset, was to share with them. And he said, this is my number one focus right now is on BDS. And so I know that he has to be thrilled with what you're doing in Arkansas.
We're excited about it. In fact, Consul General Eitan Lavon, the Consul General for Israel from Houston, actually had come up to visit us and spoke with him by phone. So we were able to pass the anti-BDS legislation. And by the way, we did that by going into each retirement fund, pension fund, like the teacher retirement fund, the public employees. So we did the anti-BDS legislation, but we also did 2 more very important things, and that is that any entity that is actively boycotting the nation of Israel, we actually said as a state that we will not do business with any entity that is actively boycotting.
Wow.
So not only did we do the anti-BDS legislation to protect that investment for those funds, we took a step to say, if you are actually boycotting, we don't want to do business with you. And then the last thing that we did is that I passed a bill which authorized the treasurer of the state of Arkansas to invest directly into bonds of the state of Israel that are backed by the full faith and credit. And you know, many states have reserves. And so really, from your perspective, Rabbi, and from people of faith, it's very important because the state of Arkansas, where appropriate, yes, for the right investment, they are allowed to invest and basically sow into the state of Israel.
That's right.
Which there is no more positive thing that you can do nation to nation than to sow into each other in that economic relationship, and obviously that'll preach, as they say in Arkansas.
Yeah.
But so we did really in Arkansas what I call a trifecta. And I want to thank you for all that you do. And of course, Pastor John and Diana called me. They actually had landed in Washington, D.C. to meet with Vice President Pence, and ultimately they met with Donald Trump, as you know. And they just called to thank Arkansas, and it's a team effort. You don't get a bill through just because you like it. And so I'm very happy for the Arkansas legislature came together, passed the bills without really hardly any objection whatsoever. And the governor signed the bills. In fact, we had a bill signing.
Yes.
And we were able to have representatives from the local Jewish community, as well as pastors that were interested as well to be there to sign that. And so I hope that other states will take this action. There is no greater ally to the United States than the nation of Israel. And as you know, when I first met you, just maybe 6 or 7 months ago, I told you I carry a rock from the state of Israel. I picked it up in Jerusalem. And while I was passing the legislation, while I was debating the legislation, and we were signing the bill, this rock from the nation of Jerusalem was with me. In fact, Eitan Lavon surprised me. He said, this rock means something in my tradition. And I said, well, what does it mean? He said, when you carry this rock, you're a messenger.
Oh, wow.
And he went further. He said, as long as you carry that rock, no one can hurt you. I said, please tell that to all of my caucus out there so they can know that.
Yeah.
But thank you for taking time to talk about the bills that we passed. And thank you for your leadership in the Christian community, informing them of why it's important that we honor the nation of Israel. And just as the word says, blessed are those who bless Israel, and cursed are those who curse Israel. So we feel it's very important. And last thing I will say, because you mentioned Chuck Pierce, I didn't know Chuck, and actually got to meet him, and he prayed over us and spoke with me and told me about his prophetic word, and met Doug Sheets and others and Clay Nash all at that same time. And so I see God's really at work, and
Yes,
I appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Senator.
God bless you.
God bless you. And I'm going to send this to Senator James Inhofe and Senator James Langsford of Oklahoma.
Oh, yes.
They're friends. I will send it to them. And take your lead. Is that you'd like to see other states, and I'd like to see Oklahoma do this as well. So anyway, we're getting ready to have our last Seder here. God bless you on Facebook Live. All of our partners, Kurt Landry Ministries, God bless you. Thank you so much. Senator Jason Rapert, thank you so much. God bless you. He's a man of God. I want you to pray for him. I want you to intercede for him. And he's a preacher of the gospel as well. He's in the government mountain. He has an anointing, and he's bringing change, and he's bringing power. He is an answer to prayer that we've prayed about, to raise up young men that are on fire for God and won't compromise. And this senator is one of them. So all of my intercessors, please take him, pray for him, and bless him in Yeshua's name. God bless you. We'll see you in just a little bit. We're going to get to this Seder. Shalom.